Hello. Hi, Patricia. How you doing today?
Hi, Yewande. I'm really great. Really happy to be here.
Yeah, me too. Happy to talk to you. So yeah, let's get into it. So, what do you do at Jets? What do you do every day?
So, I'm a lead business analyst at Jet, and what that means is that I look after a team of five BAs at the moment. I know you're going to ask, what does a BA do? And in the kind of shortest and quickest way that I can explain it is that we help to deliver change in organizations, and whether that could be an IT change, it could be a sort of different way of working, new processes, it could be a cultural change. BAs are the ones that help to land change. We also help to quantify problems or even come up with problems, and we also document solutions, and we work with IT and developers and those people like that to help land this change. So we kind of work on change from conception when someone thought about it right through to implementation, right through to the end. Yeah.
Nice. It sounds like you guys are complementary to like product managers because I'm a product manager and what we do seems quite similar. But I think for me, it's more about building the product, right? Really working with the developers, conceptualizing it, getting data from BAs, for example,
Mhm.
right? Working with research, also working with everybody as much as possible to kind of like create a solution that the customer actually wants and needs to use. So
I
nice.
agree. I
Okay.
absolutely agree.
Yeah. Nice. So, do you want to talk a little bit about your journey into tech? So, how did you get into the role of a BA? Why did you go into tech?
Well, I've worked in tech since 1997, so a long, long time. And I chose tech simply because it seemed like a career that I could grow in. It paid a lot, you know. I was a young mother. I had my first son when I was 21, and I really didn't want to just have like a job, you know, an admin job. I really wanted to have a career to make sure that I could give him everything that he needed and beyond. So when he was 4, I went to university. I did a degree in information management and business IT. I was successful, got a great grade, left uni, had only one interview and landed a job as a junior Oracle programmer. I literally knew like select star from tab. That's all the code that I knew. Um, I was a programmer for about 8 years, and I made a kind of slow sideways step into business analysis. Back then, there wasn't any sort of graduate programs in business analysis. There weren't any sort of real courses into business analysis. It was always like a kind of like a sideways step, and I chose business analysis, or business analysis chose me, because I was always really interested about the the customer and the business, and wanting to know how my piece of code was affecting the business. How did it make a difference to the customer journey, to the product that the organization was serving. And I just felt, as a developer writing code, I was too far away from the business and too far away from the customer. So yeah, I kind of made that sideways step into business analysis, and I've been a BA now for almost 20 years. So yeah, I'm absolutely loving the fact that I'm still doing it, and I get to make a difference.
Oh my God, you are like an OG, right? Like, I'm so happy I'm talking to you because I think our journeys are a little bit similar. Because
Mhm.
I studied computer science, and right after school, I was thrown into a server room with all men. I was the only woman, and I'm just like, is this going to be the rest of my career working in like dark rooms with wires and all of that? And I decided to transition. I actually transitioned out of tech. I was doing sales marketing. I tried finance for a while. I've always been like all over the place. I tried a couple of things. But one thing that was important for me and is still important is building something that human beings can actually use. I like to see the impact of the things I do and the work I do in people's lives. So I started working, got a career in sales marketing. I was then making suggestions about the product. And my manager says, "Oh, you make a good product manager." I'm like, "What? What is a product manager?" And I did research. I really liked what I saw when I was researching. I did a career transition again, and now I'm a product manager and working with the logistics team in Jet. I really think what I build is really impacting businesses and thereby impacting lives. I'm building things for couriers who, some of them are students, some of them do this full time. And I really think my product is something that people can say is making a difference in their lives. So yeah, thanks for sharing your story. too. So something else that's interesting for me, and I'm sure is going to be interesting for people listening. So what are some of the challenges you faced along in your tech career and your BA journey, your tech journey?
So I think just the challenge of then being a working mother. So there wasn't anything like working from home. There was never any working from home. You just couldn't work from home. I was in the office from Monday to Friday. So in terms of childcare, that was always a challenge for me. I remember starting in an organisation, me believing that my working hours were from 9 till 5, to get there and told actually it's from 9 till 5:30, and I just said I can't start this job. I cannot, because there was no way I was going to be able to find an extra half an hour of childcare for for my son. And my manager at the time was really, really understanding. He said, you're not the only person here that has childcare issues. We will work something out. There were other challenges in terms of race. I mean, when I first started in IT, I was the only person of color in my function, and I was the only woman. So there was a lot of sexist jokes. There was a lot of assumptions that I would be the one maybe to, like, do the sandwich run. I'd be the one to always make the teas and stuff like that. There was lots of bias, some prejudice, or some bigotry. But they didn't really hold me back. But I think it made my career progress a bit slower. I think other challenges, I think, were ones that I kind of created for myself. I assumed that because I was a working mother, that I couldn't progress, and I assumed that if I progressed, I'd have to work more and work harder, and I couldn't eat into the time I spent with my son. So it was really important that work was containerized, so then I could really focus on being a great mum. So that was something that I should have challenged, but I didn't. I didn't.
Interesting. And then now that you know this, to just go into the next question, is there anything you would do differently now that you have this awareness of yeah, with the industry now and also some of your past experiences?
Definitely, definitely. I would ask for a lot more support. I would have lent into my leadership team more, like into my managers and stuff. I would have asked what other people are doing, and I would have made assumptions. Now that I'm a leader and I'm a manager, I say to my team, because you are going to grow, because you might go through for promotion, you might want to do a different role. It doesn't mean that I expect you to work harder. It doesn't mean that you have to increase the amount of time that you're in the office, or at your desk. So I definitely would have spoken out a lot more and asked, how can I progress? Seeing that the fact that I still need to leave work at 5 or 5:30 at the dot, how can I progress? I just assumed that it was one or the other.
Nice. I think I'm learning so much just listening to you also. Like, I think some of your learnings, for me, some of the challenges I did face were not mostly racial, because I did start my career in Nigeria before I moved to Germany where I stay now. And it was more of a patriarchal environment than racial, right? So like more like giving the guys promotion. And also I thought that was normal. So I also didn't speak up as much. And then eventually, when I found out someone in the same role was earning like almost twice what I did, I was like, okay, what do I need to do to get that? So I think for me, it's just, yeah, those were kind of like the challenges. And what I would do differently is just like talking to people more, speaking out more, doing my own research, and not just depending on what people say. What are the facts? What's really the data itself, right? Yes, speaking up is a big thing, and also finding people like you that have been in the industry for a while, taking learnings, also asking for like a sponsor if that's possible, getting advice. What would you do differently, right? And actually applying those learnings. So it's one thing to learn something; it's another thing to apply it to real life. So yeah, I think those are kind of like the things I would say I would do differently, and I
Yeah.
would implement.
And I'd just like to say, I mean, I have a saying that there's nothing that can't be said in a loving and caring way. And sometimes we need to have those uncomfortable conversations, especially where you feel that you are being held back because of maybe of your race, or your gender. And I know that I have worked in organisations where I believe that I should have been at a higher level, but because no one from my background was at that level, I was held back. But what I've learned is to always ask for my worth. always ask for my worth. I show up as a professional when I'm at work. This is who I am. I'm passionate about what I do. I feel that I'm really fortunate to manage people. I love people management, and I think it's a privilege, and it's a role I take very, very seriously, because I am guiding people's careers. I am, imparting advice. I am challenging them. I'm supporting them. So I take it very, very seriously. And when they have their challenges, I want them to bring their challenges to me. So together we can work out how do we um, challenge the assumption. Is it a real challenge, or is it an assumption? Is it a limiting thought? Is it a negative belief? And together with my direct report, and with other support, that because when we're not an island, and a company like Jet has so much support, and different ways to challenge, and to grow. Yeah, to move them through that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow. What you just said, like we're not an island. I feel like it's something we need to repeat constantly. Like it's very easy to feel like you're the only one going through something, and I feel like I've been in the same position. And then when you feel that way, it feels like if it's not been done by anyone before you, why would you be the one to like overcome this mountain? But usually, there's almost nothing that people that look like you haven't been through. You just need to find those people, and it's good to see people like you be like in management positions, right? Like indirectly, you don't even need to do much, but it gives the permission to someone like me that's just starting my career a bit more recently to say, okay, I can be a manager too. I can be a director. I can be the top of like in my industry in another country where I don't even speak the language in a Dutch company. So yeah, just being ourselves and being like the best versions of ourselves, it gives people permission to dream and become another version or a better version of themselves. So, yeah,
100%.
thanks for this. Love this conversation, by the way. Um, so what would you say? What's your best thing about having a career in tech and having like this long career in tech
Oh,
too?
wow. Variety, the absolute variety. It's exciting. And I think about business and analysis, and some people may disagree with me. I've worked in different industries. So I've worked in the telco industry, I've worked in the finance industry, I've worked in insurance industry, I've worked in banking, I've worked for a marketing agency. And I didn't have to have knowledge of those industries. So for me, as long as I'm a really good BA, and I have good solid BA skills, business analysis skills, so I can go and investigate a situation, I can, draw out ambiguities, I can, uncover, what the business rules are, constraints, issues, risks, anything, and I can document them in a way that the relevant stakeholder can understand. For me, I believe that as a BA, I can work in any industry, and that's what I love about business analysis, is that it is varied, it changes, and even staying in the same organization, because that BA works on different projects, lands different changes. It's always exciting, it's always fresh. So a BA will start on a project knowing nothing. We know absolutely nothing. We obviously we have an idea of what the company does, but it's a brand new domain, and we know nothing. But what we have is really good sort of in investigation skills, where we can now start to get ourselves to the starting point, and quite quickly understand what is the scope of what I'm working on, because we're not going to analyze the whole organization. We need to have some scope, and to really understand the problem, and to support the business in having consensus around the problem and around the solution. So for me, I love it. It's exciting, it's fresh, it challenges me. I'm always learning something about myself, even when I work on a project which doesn't go live because maybe we've run out of budget, or there's been a change in direction, for it could be of a whole, a myriad of reasons. I don't think, damn, that was a wasted, whether it was 6 months or 2 years. I think, what did I learn? Who did I become? Did I deepen my BA skills? Did I meet new stakeholders? What did I learn? Who did I impress? Who did I influence? And that's why I think, why I love business analysis so much. Yeah.
Nice. That's actually true. A lot of tech skills are transferable, right? So
Hmm.
you can basically work in. oceanography today and then
Yes.
human resources tomorrow, and you still fit in. I do like that also about products management too. Like the principles of building a product are the same regardless of the industry, right? You need to know the users, you need to know what their problems are, what the business needs, right? And you combine all of these goals together, or combine all of this together, and then create something that is usable and profitable for the business and also for the users. So yeah, that's also one of my best parts too, right? So I can work anywhere. The money is good, really. It's it's not bad. Yeah, that's the truth. It's not bad. It's good to. It's always good to be in a career where you're not looking out, even though you like it, because you don't think the pay or the possibility of a pay is going to be worth it for you. And then also the people. Oh my God, the people I meet, people you generally meet when working in tech. For example, my team is from so many countries. I work in Germany, but I think only there's only one person from Germany in my team, or over 20
Wow.
people.
Yeah.
People from so many countries, so many ideas, the diversity of thoughts, of opinions, of just lived experiences is amazing. And then when you see people that use your product too, it's something. Yeah. Cool. I think these are all the questions that I have prepared.
I
But
just want to say one more thing, and maybe just pass out a little bit of advice out there for people that want to get into tech. And it's a question that we're always asked: how can I get into tech? Into tech, and yes, there's the kind of traditional route. So, you might go to university, you might join a graduate scheme, or might be an apprenticeship. But I think if you haven't got access to that, there's so many resources out there. I think I love using LinkedIn for number one. I connect with a lot of people on there. I give a lot of advice on there. I have seen people, put up a post saying that fresh out of uni or want to get into tech, and they have like a little card with something written on, and people start saying, I can help, I can help, I can mentor, I can coach. Have you thought about talking to this person? So, yeah, just my advice is get on LinkedIn, definitely go to Black Tech Fest, connect, network, and that should start to open doors for you.
no, I
Yeah,
totally agree. I think that's actually a good, that's a very good advice. Yeah, connect with people, network, join communities.
yeah,
I would agree with what you say, and I would add more to it. No,
brilliant.
cool. All right, thank you very much, Patricia, and yeah, have a great rest of the day.